So last session we learnt about exception handling, error handling, debugging in Express.js. So we learnt about how to handle errors, exceptions, and how to debug APIs and Express related application. Next, now we need to understand the connection with the database with front end also. We will use MySQL, MongoDB, Mongoose, three drivers to communicate with the backend. So databases, we have only two databases, MySQL database, another MongoDB. But drivers, we are having three. We will use MongoDB driver, Mongoose drivers, and MySQL drivers. But for that, which front end we are going to use? Not JavaScript. So we will use jQuery. So I will give a complete idea of jQuery first. Then with jQuery, MongoDB, jQuery, Mongoose, jQuery, MySQL. Three communications we will see. With Node.js as the backend, Express.js APIs and all. So today we are going to start understanding jQuery. With jQuery as front end and Ajax using jQuery in the backend, we will communicate with the databases, right? Can you turn off this light? Backside light you can turn on. This one also close. Right. So what we are going to see now is how to design the front end. All these days, you learned JavaScript for front end, HTML JavaScript combination. But in real-time projects, directly JavaScript is never used. Means we don't use JavaScript directly in real-time projects. So we always use the libraries. So the library you are going to see is jQuery. We are going to understand about this library now in the front end. So what is the concept of jQuery and why it is used? As I told you, JavaScript problem is JavaScript is a language. The issues of using direct JavaScript is lot of DOM references, DOM interactions, lengthy logic to communicate, to add elements, to remove elements. So JavaScript is complex. JavaScript, we need to write more even to handle a small functionality. Because you learned in JavaScript how to create tables dynamically, how to design table, how to send data into table dynamically, you learned that. Now what is jQuery is actually, it is a JavaScript library. It is a JavaScript library. So what is meant by library? So library comprises of predefined functions. Library comprises of predefined functions so that you can write less and do more. You can write less and do more. It provides predefined functions. What is the point about predefined functions? Already everything is written. Just you have to use it. But it doesn't mean that you don't need to write logic. We have to write less when compared to JavaScript. The jQuery library comes with the slogan also. Same slogan. Write less, do more. You see the official website of jQuery. jQuery official website. You can see the official people. So you can see here jQuery. This is the official jQuery. And you can see jQuery comes with the slogan. See what is the slogan? Write less and do more. That is the official slogan of jQuery. So generally in a language we have to write everything. Here it is ready-made with predefined some functions which allows you to build interface with interactions easier when compared to JavaScript. When you see that, you can easily understand. Actually, jQuery, it is lightweight. So lightweight and faster. It is CSS compliant and it is CSS compliant. CSS compliant means it supports all CSS related selectors and features so that you can just depend on the CSS. You can dynamically add CSS, remove CSS means styles. Not only that, it they have one more feature like it is cross-browser compatible. It is cross-browser compatible. It is cross-browser compatible. That means browser compatibility is good. Any across various browsers, it can easily work. Actually, you learned Bootstrap. Huh? Bootstrap, which version you learned? Bootstrap 5. But when Bootstrap 4 version is there, up to 4 version, they need jQuery. That means Bootstrap cannot work directly. Bootstrap uses a library called jQuery. And in Bootstrap 5 onwards, they removed the support of jQuery. Without jQuery also, the functionality works. Internally, they return all the functions without jQuery. Earlier, we have to use jQuery for Bootstrap. When we are using Bootstrap, we have to install jQuery also. So in interview, if anybody asked you like what is new in Bootstrap 5, one main concept is Bootstrap 5 doesn't use jQuery. That is the major concept. Earlier, people have to use jQuery for handling Bootstrap. For handling Bootstrap, it is compulsory. But now Bootstrap 5 doesn't require. jQuery is individually used as a library for building user interface. So actually, John Resig introduced jQuery in 2006. He developed this library jQuery. He introduced jQuery in 2006. Brendan Eich developed JavaScript and John Resig is the person who designed jQuery. So this library is so popular that even today we use this jQuery in projects. I already showed you almost every web developer in his resume must mention jQuery. Many people will tell you that jQuery is outdated. Now React and Angular are used. Of course, we are using React Angular, but companies will not directly depend on only them. Several projects are still working on jQuery. That is the reason if you don't mention such stable and most commonly used concepts in your resume, you may miss the calls from some companies who are looking for them. And jQuery is not a complex thing. For anybody who learned JavaScript, it's very simple. It is easy to handle. Actually, for a JavaScript professional to learn jQuery, it will take 1 hour time. Just 1 hour is enough to handle jQuery. He can understand, handle, and use. So in your resumes, always you have to better mention about jQuery. JavaScript, jQuery, React. That's what your profile should tell, right? So he developed this concept and main intention is write less and do more. Now how this works, let's see. How to use jQuery, how it really affects. We'll see that. So for that first, you have to install jQuery for project. Just from terminal npm install jQuery and save. So you have to install jQuery. When you install jQuery, so jQuery library file is jQuery.js. The library file is jQuery.js. You have to link with your web page. You have to link with your web page. So here, let's see this point. I am opening our project. And in this project, we want to set up the front end also. Then what you do is install jQuery. npm install jQuery. So we are installing jQuery. The jQuery library is installed. Okay. For practicing, first I will create a separate folder. UI is the folder. In UI folder, or better, I will give the folder name views. Okay. Views are nothing but user interface pages. In software frameworks, views refer to UI, user interface. Later, I will explain the architecture in project. So here, in that views, I will keep the file home.html. That is the file. Now in this file, I am designing the page. This is a home page, and how to link jQuery script, because it is a JS file. Script source from node modules, jQuery dist jQuery.js. When you install jQuery, jQuery is installed into node modules. In that there will be a jQuery. In that there will be a dist. In dist you have jQuery.js, right? So you need to link that file to your page. So we have a script source, node modules, jQuery dist jQuery.js. So after that, once jQuery is enabled, this is library. What is the language used by this library is JavaScript. So what you have to do is actually complete jQuery is a collection of functions. Already all functions are present. We have to import those functions. I told you module system already. In module system, what we do is we import. In the module system, we import the library. Whatever functions we need, we import. In jQuery, what happens is it's taking time. Let's. Okay. So actually, what happens is in jQuery, all the library is kept in. It is under dollar directive. Dollar is called as directive. In jQuery, there is a dollar directive. In the dollar directive, all the functions are defined. That means actually how jQuery is designed is jQuery is designed in an anonymous function. Anonymous function means function will not have a name. So what happens is you have to use this dollar to access jQuery functions. And how jQuery library is present is in this dollar, all the functions are in a callback function that is an anonymous function. That means when you write this, automatically all jQuery functions are loaded into memory. jQuery related any logic you need to define using this directive. Dollar invokes the jQuery, and this parenthesis will invoke all the functions in that library. So by using a dollar parenthesis, you can access all the jQuery functions and use them. You can see actually, you see the file, not this, yeah. You see the file. The node modules, in node modules, we are having jQuery in that dist, jQuery.js. You see jQuery.js is inside a anonymous function. That is the global function. Global function is an anonymous function. Anonymous function means, you know, anonymous functions are written in a parenthesis. In a parenthesis, we write all the logic. How to invoke? By using IIFE pattern. That means we have to invoke immediately now. That is how the jQuery is written. You see, jQuery is written in an anonymous function. It is in an anonymous function. Now, how to access jQuery and use it is, what you have to do now is, in the script element, in the script here, we have to write another script. So jQuery library is present here. From there, we need to invoke the library. How do we invoke the library? Dollar parenthesis. And this dollar parenthesis uses a callback function. Generally, it uses a callback function. That is an anonymous function. We have to just write the anonymous function. It uses an anonymous function. That means jQuery is invoked using these two. In that you have a callback function. All the jQuery logic must be inside this. All the jQuery logic must be inside that, inside this anonymous. Whatever jQuery logic is there, you can keep that. And actually, why it is so simple than JavaScript and faster, easy, and less writing than JavaScript, I will show you here. Suppose see now. Let me give you this point. So next point, what it is, jQuery library is configured using a dollar directive. Dollar directive. So all jQuery functions are defined in an anonymous function. In an anonymous function. So dollar parenthesis. This invoke jQuery functions. So it uses a callback. It uses a callback function that defines the scope of jQuery. That means we have to use dollar. Actually, what do I written in a shorthand? Originally, we write here what? Function. Originally, we write like this. But you know that we can write in a shorthand way. Means all your jQuery logic must be here. Your jQuery logic must be here. All the jQuery logic must be here. So jQuery related, all the logic is configured here. Now I will show you here how jQuery is so simple in interactions and all what it is providing. I will show you those points here. See. So what is the first thing is, let me close this, not required here. Now here you can write like this. There are so many ways of configuring other techniques also I will show you. This is shortcut. So now in the body section, I have a heading. And in the body section, I have a paragraph. And in the body section, I am having a div. We are having a heading, paragraph, and a div. And this paragraph is having an ID, some title. This is subtitle. Okay. This is having an class. Class is like message, MSG. Now what I want is, I want to display some message in heading, in paragraph, and in div. Now heading don't have any ID or class. Paragraph have an ID, and div is having a class. Generally in JavaScript, to display some message inside them, we need DOM methods, right? In JavaScript, we have to use lot of DOM methods, but here see, we have to use dollar. We have to use a dollar, and in the parenthesis, this is going to access jQuery. And here, how do we access any HTML element? By using all CSS selectors. You can use all CSS selectors. CSS selectors means type selector, ID selector, class selector. You remembered, you learned rational, relational, parent, child, anything you can use. Okay, how to access heading? .h1. Into that I want to display some text, .text. And here text must be jQuery. Now I run this here. You can see. So that's it, it is working. It's very simple. That means earlier we need to use lot of DOM methods. This is just beginning. If you go to complex things, jQuery is more simple. So now how to access the paragraph dollar? In the parenthesis, how do we access the paragraph? Paragraph is having ID. Hash, what is it? Subtitle. Into that I will put some text. So write less, do more. Like this I am giving. And it will display that. Now how do we display some message? So dollar class is dot what? MSG dot text. In that, so jQuery is a library, is a JavaScript library for DOM interactions. And you can see it is going to display that. So this is very simple. So I am not writing any event also here. Earlier we have to write body on load. I am not saying that events we don't write. We write event, but load is default enabled. Load is default enabled. You just write, it will perform on load. And you can easily select the elements and define them. You can easily select the elements and define. Just you need CSS selectors. But you need a lot of these methods to understand, I will tell you. Actually, first point. What is the first point is after enabling jQuery. So how jQuery selects HTML? So selecting HTML elements. It's a simple concept. What is that? Selecting HTML elements. jQuery uses all CSS selectors to select elements. So you can use type selector, ID selector. You can use class selector, dynamic pseudo classes. You learned so many classes now, structural. So you can use those dynamic pseudo classes, everything. We can use all. Selecting HTML elements is very simple. That means you don't need lengthy document methods. Document.query selector, document.get element by ID. We don't need them. Just very simple. So syntactically, how? Suppose we have a heading. We have an paragraph P1. Suppose we have a div MSG. How do we select them? $H1. So $hash P1. We have $.msg. That's how we select. That is just selecting. After selecting, how to control them? That means we need to apply some styles, get some value. So how do we do that? Actually, in JavaScript, you learned input functions, output functions. Output methods, inner HTML, outer HTML, inner text. You learned about document write, text content. These are all the methods for output. Here, JavaScript uses different types of document methods. Here we have DOM methods, ready-made DOM methods. They will handle all such interactions. So now you need to understand this is selecting. Remember, you can use all the selectors like, do you know if I write nav span, what does it means? Do you know? That means the span inside nav. Understood? That means suppose I'm using like this dollar. So I keep here some H1 plus P. What does it means? The adjacent paragraph after heading. Plus is adjacent selector, na? You learnt all the selectors, right? Plus is adjacent selector, tilde is general sibling selector. I given so many selectors list, na? What does plus means? Plus means it is adjacent to heading. Adjacent to heading. You can select in this way. For example, you can use like dollar. So P and ID. What does this means? It will select the paragraph that have ID. ID attribute. This is attribute selector now. In CSS, you have attribute selectors. This is attribute selector, right? If ID is matching with specific one, you can use that. Suppose I want to select all input buttons or input text box, then how do we do? We have to use what? Input type is equal to what? Text. You know, this is attribute selector, na? In CSS, that is attribute select. We can use all these selectors and we can implement. We can use all these selectors and you can use. So like that, so many, all CSS selectors you can use. jQuery makes it everything simple in selection. You can just use your CSS selectors. That is the reason jQuery officially say that we are very compliant with CSS. You can utilize a lot of CSS key features and manipulate. You can manipulate. So of course, this is selecting. After selecting, how to get value from it, how to store value in it, how to display something inside it. For that, we need to understand jQuery DOM methods. We have jQuery DOM methods. After selecting, you need to know these DOM methods. So some important DOM methods, text. It is similar to inner text. You learnt inner text, na? In JavaScript, it is same to inner text. What is inner text means? Inner text or text content. Inner text or text content. Huh? Inner text or text content. What does that means? They don't allow complex formats. They allow only plain text, RC type. Huh? They don't allow complex formats. You have HTML. It is similar to inner HTML. It is similar to inner HTML. Inner HTML. Val. This is it. It gets and sets value into element. ATTR. It gets the attribute of element. It gets the property of element. Attributes, properties, values. So get the value, attributes, properties, text, HTML. We have CSS. It sets styles dynamically for element. Actually, in JavaScript, what we do, dot style, dot attribute name we apply. Suppose I want to apply a color for a paragraph. Generally in JavaScript, what you do, document dot query selector. What is that? Paragraph. If you want to apply a style, then what we have to do? Style. We have to use style property. And through style property, we can apply background color like that. Background color, color and all. Now, the same thing here what you can do, we can access dollar paragraph and you can directly apply CSS. You can put some styles. That means keys and values you can define, automatically it will apply the styles. So I will show example also. Just I am giving the list of methods. You can apply the styles dynamically. And we have before. So it adds new element before the current. You can say before the selected. After, before, this is above and below. Actually, above, below, they changed this in the current version we are using. We are using current version is 3. They have a latest version 4. It is coming. It is still not ready. So we will use after means. So it adds new element after the selected. Prepend. It adds as prefix. Append. It adds as suffix. Append to. It adds to specific element. So the important DOM methods are these. These are all the DOM methods. So text, HTML, val, attribute, property, CSS, before, after, prepend, append to. These are all the important DOM methods. So using these DOM methods, we can do a lot of interaction. And syntactically, already I just showed you dollar, some paragraph, dot, some HTML. In that we put a heading, in that we put a bold welcome, because HTML will allow it to add some markup inside it. But if I am using dollar heading 1 text, you cannot put any markup. Just we have to keep some text. We cannot add any markup into it. Suppose we are having a text box. We want to get value from the text box. We want to get value from drop down, or we want to get value from a radio button. Then what we do? Suppose here I will give a text box. Input type is text. ID is username. And whatever value is inside, I need to access. Then we have to just use dollar hash. What is it? Username dot val. That's it. It is going to get the value. Earlier, what we do? Document dot get element by ID. username dot value. Here we have to just use val. And this is to get the value. You can set the value also, hash username and dot val. So you can put a new value into it. You can put a value. It is a getter as well as setter. It gets the values and set the values. I'm just using ID. You can use class, type, anything. So those DOM methods I will show you. Remember here very important note is jQuery uses JavaScript as language. So that means what? Variables, data types, operators, statements, functions, classes. So we have DOM and BOM methods. All are same, no change. You can use all of them as it is here. But BOM methods, we avoid lengthy and we use short techniques. Variables, data types, operators, statements, functions, everything same. How you write your variables, var, let, const, number type, string type, boolean type, primitive, non-primitive types, your statements, if condition selection statements, iteration statements, looping statements, your function related logics, all are same. Everything same as JavaScript language part. Only the point is manipulations become very, very simple now. Very simple. I will show you. That means all the language part is same. For example, see, I will copy this example first. Here I am using, this example is using this. So we have a heading and all this. Okay, let's do one thing. I will delete this. Now here, I will keep an ordered list or unordered list, OL. OL is there. I will keep a drop down here. Select is here. Okay. Now in the script, we are having some data where categories is equal to array. So in this array, we are having all electronics, fashion, footwear, like this. These are categories. What we need to do, we need to read all the categories and load them into ordered list and drop down. You know JavaScript is lengthy. Map, we have to create element. So see here, categories dot map. I am reading every category. And for every category, I am using dollar. In that, we will put a binding expression, backtick. Backtick is for binding string with dynamic values. In that, we create li. And in li, what is the text here? Binding expression category. That means what is nothing but it will get the category, every category from the collection, and it will display the category into li. Where to add this li? Dot append to. Dot append to which one? OL. That's it. You can see it is there. That is more simple. Earlier, JavaScript, you learn, you have to create element, you have to put text, you have to put value, you have to add that lengthy logic. Now see here, let's put dollar. I need to create which one? Option. Okay. In this option, we need text. Actually, you need just value. Option value is category. Option text is also category. Text is between and value is inside. Now append to. Append to, add to whom? Select. I have only one select, so select. Now you can see that is done. That means this is more simple way of handling your content. Earlier, the same thing, in JavaScript, what we do, already we learned. What we have to do in the map, we are reading every category now. So what we have to do in this map, first, we have to create an option by using document dot create element. Create element, what is it? Option. After that, option dot what? Text. Text is what? Category. Option dot what? Value is what? Category. After that, document dot query selector. What is it? Select into select dot what? Append child. Which one? Option. This much logic we need to write. Now it is simple one line. That means it is simple one line. Instead of writing all these, you can just write this. So remember, in real world projects, we don't use JavaScript at all. You will learn JavaScript for so many days. Your interview also will be in JavaScript. Your interview will not be in jQuery. They don't ask much in jQuery. Sometimes they don't ask at all. But your real-time project work, entire work will be in jQuery only. Means in the companies where they are using jQuery. Now instead of jQuery, they are using React. React, Vue, other libraries they are using. But before Angular, React, all projects are jQuery only. That means whatever JavaScript examples you have learned, all are designed with jQuery only. You learned EMI calculators, you learned KFC forms, so many things you learned in JavaScript, everything done with jQuery. So, but you will never be tested much on jQuery. For senior people, they test about Ajax and all, they use it because jQuery have better Ajax options. I will show you, we will learn about that. But you have seen jQuery have better DOM options also. You don't need a lengthy approach. It's very simple. It's very simple. That means just you need to access. Now, this is one simple example. Your variables are same. Data types, operators, statements, functions, everything is same. Just the way that you handle them is little different. Actually, it is shortcut. You can just define like this. In the functions I given here, I given the functions before, after, prepend, append is nothing but before means above, after means below, prepend means left, append means right. I will show. For example, let me copy this first. So this is example I will copy here. This is another example, dynamically creating and adding elements. From an array, we have done that. But see, I will show you some methods. Actually, suppose we are having a paragraph. The paragraph is so write less, do more. Something like this we are using. So this is the paragraph we are having. Now what we are doing, access the paragraph, and we are using before. Before the paragraph, I am adding some text. Text is jQuery. That means it will add above. Suppose I am adding dollar paragraph dot after. After I am adding like with jQuery something. That means after that paragraph. Suppose I am using dollar paragraph. I am using prepend. Prepend means suppose this is left add left. Suppose I am just using add left, and you can see it will add to left. Prepend means left side. Append means right side. That means I am using paragraph dot what append. Append right side. That means add right. I'm just roughly writing this. Actually, you can put anything there. Append, append, before, after, append to. Append to is nothing but it is like append child. Append child. Append to which element? You have to add to that element. So you can simply remember, I'm just adding some text. Suppose if I say here, so add left a div I am giving. In a div I am using add left. That means it will add a div. Div is obviously block level, right? You can add any element like this. Adding left, adding right, adding above, adding below, we can easily manage. So we can add any element. I'm just temporarily using first normal text to make you understand what are those functions. We have so many functions. What are those functions? This is the concept actual. This is example. So other DOM methods, other jQuery DOM methods, before, after, prepend, append, and all those DOM methods are these. And if you remembered, you can use fetch and all. If you remembered, you learned designing tables and cards, right? While working with APIs, I showed you now in JavaScript. In JavaScript, while working with API, get the data from API and display like a table form or display like a card form. It's a lengthy process. Designing a table is lengthy. We have to create row. We have to create cells. We have to add data into the cells, add cells into row, add row into table body. Lengthy process you have seen. See how we do here. We can use the same fetch method. For example, see. Suppose I want to create a table. Just temporarily table have a border and the table have a width 100%. And what we will do? Yeah. And inside the table, I'm adding a t-head, tr, th, title is there, and price is there, preview is there, preview is photo, and the price is there. I want to display in t body. That means what I want to do is get the data from fake store and show the data here. Now, JavaScript, you know how much complex it is. In JavaScript, what we do? How do we create in JavaScript? You saw already examples. First, what we do, we have to create a row. Na? After that, we have to create how many cells? TD title is one cell, TD preview is one cell, TD price is one cell. We have to create 3 cells. In those cells, we need to add the data. These cells we need to add to row. This row we need to add to T body. It's a lengthy logic. But see in jQuery, what we do, fetch from where? https:// what is it? fakestoreapi.com/what? products dot then get the response and return the response as what? JSON. After that, get the products, and these products I need to display inside a table. Then what we do, products dot what? Map. We read every product. For every product, what we have to do is dollar parenthesis. For every product, we need to create a row. In this row, just for your clarity, I am keeping in new line, right? You can write in single line also. Just for your clarity, I am writing like this. In row, first cell. What to display in this cell? In this cell, we want to display product dot what? Title. In the second cell, what to display? In that we want image. In the image, we have src. Na? What is the src? Product dot what? Image. Width is 100, height is 100. Okay, next we need another cell. In that cell, I want the price. Product dot what? Price. Okay, after that, we have to use dot append to. That's it. Append to whom? It should append to T body. Table body, it should append. And you can see it will get that and show. That is simple. That means now the table, this title width I give as 200. It will be in this way. Preview also width as 200. It will be in this way. So that means you are defining a table with all the data here. Earlier, to design like this, it's very complex. Means lot of logic we have to write. You already learned in JavaScript how much time it will take to design that. But now everything happens with this simple logic. That means we need to just design the markup and just append to the parent. Earlier, every element we have to create. Now we need to just design as markup and append. Then it is very simple now. So this is the concept of jQuery, and that is the advantage of jQuery. I just defined here, but actually card style, table style depends on Bootstrap. If I want to show like cards, if I want to show like grid, you can easily apply Bootstrap in this, right? How do you apply Bootstrap? You know, suppose I'm using npm install what? Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons and save. I'm installing Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons in this. And you see in this now, I am linking those Bootstrap link relation style sheet, and href is node modules, Bootstrap icons, font, icon, CSS. Link relation is equal to style sheet, href, node modules, Bootstrap, and the dist CSS, Bootstrap dot what? CSS. right? Now, what we have to do, if I linked bootstrap, the appearance changes now. Appearance changes because it is a table now, right? We remove all this. You know, bootstrap have class container fluid, and for table we are applying class table hover. Am I right? Like that, then it will display in a tabular form here, and it will display like a table. And important, now I can remove this width. Actually, this is just a table, but generally this is the products table. I'm using bootstrap also here. So if I'm using bootstrap, okay, designing table is fine. Let me copy this. This is an example of generating table. Okay, so let's design a card styler. Suppose we have a section. Inside the section, I want all the products as cards. I want to display all products as cards. I will put dflex and a flex wrap. I am just using like this. So inside this, we want all the products as cards. Again, in JavaScript, designing cards is lengthy. So see what we are doing here in jQuery. For every product, we need to create a card. So dollar, always use backtick because we need to bind dynamic. So div. How to design card we know. Div should have a class. What is it? Card. You can keep a style. Width as some 200 pixel. Every card have margin 2, padding 2. Now inside this we need an image. Image source is coming from product dot what? Image. What is the class? Card image top. And the height of the image is in 120 like this. And the div. So, and the class is what? Card header. In the card header, I want to display the product title. Here we have product dot what? Title. And we have another div. In this we need what? Class? Card body. In the card body, I want to display the price, rating, something. Then data list I am using. So data term I am using price, and data term, data definition, how to display product dot what? Price. Data definition close. Rating. How to get the rating. This API I don't need to explain. You know this fake store API. So we need product dot rating dot what? Rate. And we have a span. So this is class bi star fill and a text success like this. This is in card body. We have another div. What is this? This is class card footer. In that we have a button, add to cart. That is the button. And what is the button class? BTN warning, W warning, W100, BI cart 4, something. Now this entire card, this is the card you are creating. That's the card you are creating. This is the card you are creating. Where to add this card? Dot what? Append to. Append to which one? Section. Append to section. Add this card to section. That means you just design as you done in HTML and dynamically put the data there. And you can see all the cards are ready. That means it is designing all of them. So I will keep card header also with some style. Height as some 120 pixel. Then all the height is there. here overflow. Overflow as what? Auto. Then a scroll bar will come if lengthy are there. And you can see these are all the products we are having. Now to create like this, to read and present like this in general JavaScript also we do. But there everything adding creation is very lengthy. We need to create a div. We need to apply a card style. We need to add that. Now jQuery makes everything simple, right? So this is one concept of how jQuery is going to design card. This is card. Means I'm just explaining how jQuery presents everything in a simple way. So adding jQuery, selecting elements, and DOM manipulation, how to handle them. Now what is different in jQuery is jQuery events are important. How to write events in jQuery? On click, on change, on blur. They are same like what? JavaScript, but in JavaScript we use event handler. Here we don't have handler. We use listener. You already learnt event handlers, event listeners. Here we design everything with listener. Now if we know the events, then we can recreate all JavaScript examples we designed in jQuery. That we'll see next session. Today this is enough because you learned so many things today. And it is not easy. It may look easy, but you have to practice this. That means you finished half jQuery now. Understood? Huh? You finished half jQuery. That means I told you already, for JavaScript people, jQuery is just 1 hour. Actually, for people who knew with JavaScript and all, it takes 10 days, 15 days to learn. And you already finished half of jQuery. If you know jQuery events and you need to know just jQuery Ajax, then you will know complete jQuery. You can build a project with jQuery. This knowledge of jQuery is very important. Now in the next session, we will learn about events and we learn about Ajax, how jQuery Ajax works, right? That will be important for our project, to build the project. So jQuery specialty is that. That means why we touch jQuery after we completely know about JavaScript server side, client side, because it becomes easy. You don't need to spend much time. You can easily manage, but practice is required. Today I showed you a lot of examples. Adding jQuery, selecting elements, presenting the contents, and DOM related some interactions. So tomorrow we will learn about events, how to work with the events and use them. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue, right? Yeah.